There's a strange comfort in thinking of ourselves as the apex predator. Lions fear us, bears avoid us, wolves slink away at the sound of our voices. But that wasn't always the case. For most of our history, we were the ones being hunted. Long before skyscrapers, before cities, before the first spoken language, our ancestors spent nights staring into the dark, wide-eyed and still, listening for the sound of something moving through the grass. Because if you moved too soon or too loud, you became dinner. Let's rewind the clock. Not just a few hundred years, but a few million. Picture early hominins, bipedal, yes, but not yet human. Walking upright gave them advantages, hands free to carry tools, better vision across the tall savanna grasses. But evolution doesn't hand out upgrades for free. Upright walking made our ancestors slower, less stable. They were clumsier than four-legged predators. Their babies, helpless. And for a long, long time, we didn't have fire or spears or walls. What we had was fear. And fear, it turns out, is a powerful teacher. We were prey for the big cats, saber-toothed killers with dagger-like teeth and paws the size of dinner plates. Leopards, who still stash their kills in trees today, once stashed us. In fact, a skull of an early hominin found in South Africa has two perfect puncture marks that match a leopard's fangs. We were hunted by the ancestors of modern hyenas, bone crushers, face rippers. Pachyrhina brevirostris, the short-faced hyena, wasn't some skulking scavenger. It stood over 4 feet tall and could bite through femurs like breadsticks. And then there were the birds. Yes, birds. In parts of ancient South America, there were 10-foot-tall terror birds that could run at 30 miles per hour and slam prey with a beak like a sledgehammer. In Africa, crowned eagles had talons strong enough to puncture skulls. One fossil of an early child, Australopithecus, was found with injuries almost identical to the hunting patterns of modern eagles. We were not kings of the jungle, we were snacks with ambition. But here's where it gets interesting. We didn't get faster, we didn't get stronger, we didn't grow claws or venom or armor, we got smarter. Because survival for us wasn't about overpowering our predators. It was about outthinking them. Fire was a game changer, not just for warmth or cooking, but for keeping the darkness at bay. Predators fear fire. For the first time, our ancestors could sit through the night with a little more peace, a little less screaming. Then came cooperation. Watchful eyes took shifts. Parents could rest while others stood guard. Alarm calls passed from one person to another, forming the first safety networks. We started shaping stone, tools for defense, then hunting. Spears gave us range. Bows later on gave us distance and accuracy. We became threats, not just prey. And above all, we remembered, humans became storytellers. Not because we liked entertainment, but because it saved us. The tale of the boy who wandered too far and never came back? That was a warning. The myth of the beast with glowing eyes and silent steps? That was a survival manual. Our fear became folklore. Our scars became stories. And slowly we began to rewrite our place in the food chain. But here's the thing we often forget. Those instincts, those deep primal fears, they never left us. They're still baked into our biology. That jolt you feel when you hear a twig snap behind you on a dark path? That's millions of years of survival kicking in. The reason we're afraid of the dark isn't irrational, it's inherited. The darkness used to hold eyes that watched us, feet that padded closer, jaws that opened wide. And today, even as we sit behind screens, protected by locked doors and streetlights and smoke detectors, some ancient part of us is still listening for movement in the night. But maybe we should remember. Because for all our tools and tech, we're still the product of that long, dangerous journey. Every step forward was paid for in blood and silence and cleverness. We became the species we are not in spite of being hunted, but because of it. We learned empathy from watching over each other at night. We learned language to whisper warnings. We learned community to keep each other alive. And so the next time you hear someone say humans are top of the food chain, Remember that the chain didn't come with labels. It came with consequences. And the ones who survive aren't always the strongest. They're the ones who adapt, who cooperate, who remember, and who keep telling stories about the things that once tried to eat us. If you found yourself holding your breath, imagining the shadow of a saber-tooth or the rustle of hyenas in the dark, you're not alone. Our ancestors lived these stories, and we're here to tell them. So if you want to keep walking beside them, through fire-lit caves, across predator-stalked plains, and into the wild roots of what made us human, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with another curious soul, because this isn't just history. This is survival. This is legacy. This is what ate us. And we've only just begun.